So I've read the Bible many times, and when I say the Bible, I'm only speaking on the New Testament because that's the only Bible that matters. But depending on the personality or the person you're identifying as you read the Bible, is like there's a different way that you read it. Like when Jesus is talking about in Matthew, like the end times, he says that people will be judged, and that if somebody is worthy of death, bring him before my feet. And I used to think that that was more of like a relation to the story of the girl who was being a hoe, and they tried to get Jesus to like join in stoning her, and Jesus said, "No, you're all the bitches, and you need to leave this girl alone." But I'm starting to realize that the second coming's not the same as Jesus is coming. And like back then, it was about like all the rich people trying to act like they were perfect and kill all the people that were obviously not good at hiding their shit. But this time, it's going to be exposing the people who have been doing the evilest shit that we can possibly imagine doing in our lifetime. And they're everywhere. And I'm pretty sure what the Bible is actually saying is bring them before my feet, and if everyone agrees they deserve to die, the blood will be on my hands, and I'm the one that slits the fucking throat. Bitch. So if the street brings you to me, I'm gonna kill you. It's 100% fact. And if I go to hell for it, so be it. But the Bible tells me it's okay. Some of you just deserve to die. It's that bad out here. Wow. Who's excited about Mullen? If you didn't know, all the math that we've been waiting to see that I've been talking about, where SPX goes super high, the volume goes super low on our Mullen stock, and the pressure shows that it's building, never goes below the low we hit before our God candle. Like everything you could imagine was perfect for today to be the day that we never go back down and we only go up through a squeeze. And as long as we hold, it keeps going up. So this 10% that we're at right now is just the beginning. And there's no chance we don't break 20. My mathematics say there's a 0% chance we don't break 100 before we could drop more than 20% in any given day. But we'll have to see what happens. I mean, they're blocking me on Twitter. They're creating all these fake personas on Twitter. You got all this shit going down that says that they still think that they can win this fight. And so I don't know 100% what to think right now. I have to see how we move up. I have to see how large my channel grows after it starts to FOMO. Like, I have to see everything before I can really decide on what I'm going to do. But, god damn, it's looking good. It's looking so good. Oh, man. I'd bet a lot of fucking money that unless you were straight homeless, there's not a poorer man in America than me for the last 3 years. I'd bet a lot of money on that. And like, it's not even so much the poor factor, but it's like the poorness of the life that I choose. Like, I just hate this world. I hate participating in this world. So I went and got like my own, like I used to have a company cell phone, and I went and got my own cell phone, and just every single month I show up to pay the bill a week late, no matter what. And it always costs me an extra $60 a month. Oh man, it's not because I couldn't have paid it before. I just fucking don't care. And I'm just chilling. And I don't think about nothing unless it matters until something starts bothering me. And so until my phone gets deactivated, I don't think about paying my phone bill. Oh man. But this is the first time where my phone got deactivated and I couldn't just go pay my phone bill. Like, I haven't had a phone for 2 weeks. I chose the street though. I had all the options in the world and I chose this life. Waiting for the day where I get 1 million viewers, not because of how great my businesses were or any of that gay shit, but how badly I fucked up the man. That has been my goal since day one. Fuck this world up, change something. So it's not the world I live in today, because the world that I live in today is the worst world I could possibly imagine. There's nothing worse. I can't think of a single. This is worse than the Old Testament. I would have had fun in the Old Testament. You guys would have died the first day. If we all just got transported to Old Testament, all of you guys die in a day. These men were so strong. These men were like they just would have exposed how weak you are, and you guys would have hated them, and they just would have killed you because they're so much stronger than you. Old Testament days. Those were the days. The days where somebody comes on horseback from 1,000 miles away and says, your cousin, your uncle, your brother, going through a lot of shit right now. And you go to all the people that you ever called a brother or a friend or whatever, and you say, if you don't fight with me, I'm going to come back and fuck you up after I'm done. But for the moment, who's going to ride with me to go fuck these motherfuckers up and protect our family? Like, oh, what a way to live. There's not one person that like, if America had that same type of identity and like didn't just look at their family as their own fucking children, like the devil would have never had power. God literally created the Old Testament and sent people through that just to show you that no matter how strong you are, no matter how righteous and obvious God is, evil was always going to be there. You're always going to have to fight. Oh, man. But also, that in the end, evil's always going to beat you. That was the main story of the Old Testament. And what was the New Testament? Jesus could come and save you. You couldn't save yourself. But it's not because you couldn't save yourself because you're incapable of it. Like, in the literal sense, you have the ability to do everything I've done in the last 32 years. It's not that you are incapable, it's that you are unwilling. Your spirit is too weak. That's what the Bible says. And so the Bible says you have to wait for that quickening spirit, the second Adam. Not the one who helps to grow, but the one that comes to fuck it up. Because the spirit's just too strong. Too strong! Can't be stopped. You could put a bullet in my head and I guarantee my body would wake up in 3 days. And I'll start fucking people up even worse than the Bible described. That's why they haven't killed me yet. Because the Bible tells them don't fucking touch me. Oh, man. This shit's about to get real, people. Just you wait. So here's what I'm going to go over. So if we went by the AMC volume, it was supposed to be a squeeze on Thursday. If we went by the AMC number of days that it took before the squeeze started, it was supposed to be on Friday. But if we went by the idea that they had to take this amount of time and then close in the weekend so that they could go spread their FUD like they did at AMC over the weekend, and we opened the next opening, then it had to be today. And AMC went up 20% this day. Right now we're up only 10%, but we're going to be up much more than 20%. But what's important to understand is that we are one extra weekend day and one extra trading day that they were delaying the stock. What you got to understand is that we diluted all the way to the bottom, and the bottom that we've ever seen all the way in the history of this stock is 39 cents from the 50 that we're at now. Think about that. So AMC, they started at $2. When we hit our bottom before the squeeze to 72, it was at $12. So from our start of the squeeze, of the bottom of being 39 cents, we're at 51 cents. At their bottom of the squeeze of $2, they were at $12. That's a 600% gain from their bottom. We're at a 50% gain. If you think about the whole idea of a squeeze is them compressing a stock, compressing it until they have to let it go. And the AMC math proved when that was, and the Mullen math just went through that and said today's the first day of the squeeze. Well, AMC had 4 days green in a row, one negative 10% day, and then a positive, and it might have been negative 15%, but then a positive 100% day. And then it dropped 45% in a day, and then went up back 40%. And basically never hit the last high, but like held at that $40 to $50 range. So, I mean, after it went to 60, it dropped to 38, and then it came back to 50, and it held that for at least a week. And then that was the week that decided that AMC wasn't going to go higher because too many people sold. And so they finally got enough power. They finally took long enough. If people saw that it hit 60 and didn't go above, they got scared enough. And they said, I'm already up a lot. I guess I got to take some profits. And so if you think about Mullen's perspective, not only are we coiled, like literally 2,000% tighter than AMC was on the stock price, but we're coiled an extra 4.5 billion shares worth of dilution, an extra 2 reverse splits, and an extra day within the 8-day math that turned into 9-day math that says the squeeze is on 100% starting Tuesday. And so we got more time that they're coiling it when the data becomes obvious. So that means more pressure that they're adding. We got more pressure at the stock price. We got more pressure at the abuse, year and a half of things we had to fight that AMC and GameStop never had to fight through. And then what's the best pressure that we're getting is when the FOMO comes. So understand, when Mullen hits $1, you're going to be excited, right? But you know other people that haven't invested yet are going to be excited. Like, they're going to be like, damn, I didn't think it was going to break $1 again. It might actually gain compliance. And these are going to be new buyers. Well, when we hit $1, we're not going to be more than $300 million market cap. If you go look at past FOMO squeezes, when you hit $1, or when you hit the point where people start coming in, it's over $1 billion. What happens when $1 billion tries to buy $300 million and nobody of the 300 million is willing to sell? All the way up. And it should be instant. And so, like, I don't know when they run out of the last share. I don't know when it all goes down. But the second that FOMO hits, the second we're up 100 to 300%, the amount of money that will be buying the stock will be more than all of us could sell at the exact same time if we all tried to sell at the exact same time. If you sell below $100, like, here's the thing. If it goes to 50 and then it holds at 50 for a week, I wouldn't blame you for selling. But if it's going up and you have a sell limit at 50 right now and it just cashes you out and we're at 100 the next day, you're fucking retarded. My God, people. I hope you know what you're doing. Like, I hope you went back and studied. Like, you don't even have to study me. Go back and look at what people were saying their cash out plan was on AMC. 0% of them said they're going to cash out on the way up. 100% of them said they want to see it go as high as it can. They want to see it have a big crash. And then on the next leg up, they'll start considering taking profits. But otherwise, they would just want to see how high it can go. Like, they all told you how to do the squeeze in the AMC, but like AMC was never the MOAS. Mullen was always the MOAS. And they're trying, like, they built up the AMC GameStop story so that when Mullen comes to the table, retail's heart's invested in everything else because of the shit they just went through. Oh man, people, Mullen's gonna be beautiful, and I know you know it, but I just want as many new people that want to come into Mullen to understand what the perspective is, and not to go listen to all these dumb motherfuckers talking about making a profit. This ain't about making a profit. This is about taking all the money in the fucking world. It's coming, people. Every day it's just going to go up until we start seeing it go out of control up. Promise.